对外国人来说，学会中文的声调真不简单，对吗？虽然我们可以了解这个概念，但经常我们说不出来，或者我们说错。所以今天我们要讨论一下5个常见的错误。如果我们可以了解这些错误，也许会帮助我们提高我们说准确中文声调的能力。Hey everybody, welcome to Cracking Chinese. I'm Carl. Today we're going to discuss 5 common mistakes that as learners we often make with Chinese tones. If we can understand these mistakes and get past them, it can put us on the road to fluency. So, 让我们开始吧. Let's get cracking. So in no particular order, let's go through our 5 common mistakes. So at number 1, we've got not learning tone rules. So unfortunately, in Chinese, there's a few rules that we must learn that dictate that the tone of a character may change in certain situations. So for example, if we have 2 third tones together, the first third tone changes to a second tone, which makes it sound more natural and easier to say. So it's not ni hao, it's ni hao. And it's not suo yi, it's suo yi. And then you have other tone rules, like the character bu. It's not always a 4th tone, sometimes it will change to a 2nd tone. And I'll do another video that will list out all of the tone rules in Chinese. But suffice to say, that's mistake number 1, not being aware of and not learning Chinese tone rules. So mistake number 2 is going too high with the first tone. Now this can be easy to do because often when we learn, we're told that the first tone is a high level tone, but going too high with this tone can make us sound a little bit unnatural. So rather than saying 应该, we want to learn to be able to bring it down and just say 应该. Rather than saying 声调, we can just say 声调. Rather than saying 中文, we just say 中文. So learning to lower that first tone a little bit can help us to sound a lot more natural and a lot more fluent. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not perfect and I'll still make this mistake, but being aware of it and working on it can really help us to sound more natural. So that's our second mistake, is to go too high with the first tone. So mistake number 3 is not learning tone pairs or tone combinations. So obviously we learn our Chinese tones at the beginning, but unfortunately most Chinese characters are not said in isolation, are they? They're often said with another Chinese character. So we need to learn how to run these Chinese tones together. So I have another video that goes into this in more detail, but the idea is that we learn a benchmark sound or Chinese word for each of the tone pairs that we can refer to when we're reading or speaking until that sound combination comes out naturally and spontaneously. So that's our 3rd common mistake, is not learning Chinese tone pairs. So our 4th mistake is not fully getting the difference between a 2nd and a 3rd tone. You see, the 2nd tone starts in the mid-range and goes up quite high. You think of a word like lai, whereas the 3rd tone goes down quite low or quite deep and then just comes up a little bit, often doesn't come all the way back up. You can think of it like a little tick. So you've got hao. You can hear it goes quite deep, quite low, and then just a little rise at the end. Now, not fully getting the difference between these 2 tones is a basic but common mistake that can hold us back from fluency. So that's our 4th common mistake, is not fully understanding the difference between the 2nd and 3rd tone. So our 5th and final mistake is not understanding or using the neutral tone properly. Now obviously we learn ni hao ma, we learn the neutral tone pretty quickly, but the neutral tone will also turn up in some words. You take the word like 告诉, for example, to tell. That's 4th tone, then a neutral tone. It's not 2 4th tones, it's not 告诉. That actually has a different meaning. And learning how to be able to say the neutral tone in a word like 告诉is very important. So that's our 5th mistake, is not learning how to use the neutral tone properly. So there you have it, 5 common Chinese tone mistakes that really, no matter how good we are, we're probably going to make these mistakes from time to time. But it's good to be aware of them so that we can always progress and we can continue to improve. So what did you think? Did you find those tone mistakes useful? Can you think of any other common tone mistakes? Please let us know down in the comments below. As usual, thanks very much for watching and we'll see you next time. 谢谢大家，再见，加油。